What a great time to make another video post that Moody's after hours sucker punch. Um yeah, so I have the 1 hour chart up right here with of SBY. And pretty much I'm going to try to call out what's going to happen this coming week. Um a lot of people are pretty bearish here. I'm going to remain optimistic just for the sake of Nvidia's earnings is right around the corner as well as AVGO. Right now I have the 1 hour up. Now I can become bearish. I had called this inverse this inverse cup and handle here. That's can be seen a lot better on the 1 hour versus the daily. And I'm going to actually trace over it right now as I'm speaking, but we could actually retrace lower here, to retest these 570 levels, 580, 570 levels, all the way down to 520, as you see right here on the chart. And it wouldn't surprise me. Here's why it wouldn't surprise me. We have a lot of uncertainty. Even with T-Man typically making these great deals, he's actually putting in work, going into these places, getting things done. We are seeing it, taking some uncertainty off the table. But the one thing that remains, I do believe, is again, when it comes to household data, the micro, macro economic data, again, jobless claims. I do feel like we are still on uneasy footing here. So anything, again, such as Moody's credit downgrade could actually stir up some more uncertainty in the market again. This is especially after we had this pretty decent recovery here in the market. I wouldn't even call this a relief rally. I feel like what happened is the market was put right back pre tariff talks. So this is a pretty decent level overall to start analyzing this coming week. Now, that cup and handle that I had just traced out on a 1 hour, here's so that's the obvious. I'm just gonna put that out. That is the obvious. Here's what can happen. Right now I have some levels up. I have a 594, this top line right here, and then I have a 570 level. So this would be that decent sideways trend here, are pretty much those key levels to actually watch. Now, I do believe there is a new trend that could possibly be building out here um in this said area. I do feel like this could be an overall trend. I feel like for 570 to actually get tested, we would need to overall see a 580, 578 breakdown out of this here channel, and then we would test that 570. I do feel like once we get to this 570, we do have this 565 gap here. But as we've been seeing from T-Man lately, he's actually been saving the markets from dropping. So we might actually get a prop up in the market, or the market could remain optimistic here, especially ahead of Nvidia's earnings. And really, we could see a nice quick reversal here at this 578 level, and then continue to ride this trend level, which is from the 5 minute chart. As you see, we have been grinding up day after day, week after week on the indexes. I'm pretty sure about 80% of the stocks within these indexes are bullish. Nvidia, I would say the chip sector, tech sector, probably only contributed about 40% of the bullish moves on the indexes. We would see, again, if you do remember where the indexes were at these levels, I would say January, February, even December 2024. and where the individual stocks were at same time indexes were at these levels. Individual stocks, especially the tech sector, are much lower than what they were previous before. So we have not fully seen um a a a relief rally in the tech sector. Meta is still below 660 levels. So we have Nvidia right at 134, that 134 breakout level. Also, Apple is at that key 200 level, just above it, that 212 breakout. Again, post Moody's, uh, after hours, everything had dropped below these key levels. Again, Nvidia 134 below, um, Apple below that 212. So these are things that we should look at. Here's the thing, right in a trading snacks edge video, or I would say screen here, lower left, so pretty much I have the company's market cap. We have Microsoft in first, we have Nvidia in second, and Apple in third. Now, Nvidia, this is the longest Nvidia had held the crown over Apple when it came to market cap. Usually when we see this, Nvidia sells off. Apple would either run, Nvidia would sell off. Regardless of the nature, Nvidia, this is the longest Nvidia had held that crown. Seeing Microsoft in number one, again, these are things I want to continue to pay attention to, because I spoke about this a while ago on my Spotify channel, Spotify podcast, that if markets were to allow this to occur, continue to occur, just where Nvidia overtook Apple and market cap, and it remained that way, this would be the time Nvidia would see 170, 180. And again, if this happens, we have about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, until Nvidia's come out 528. I do believe it's 528 if where Nvidia earnings drop. If Nvidia beats earnings, which they should, again, first off, I do want to say earnings has been revised down. So it's guaranteed they would beat. It's going to be that outlook that we're looking for. Again, with these things that's being changed is where they're taking off the lock and keys on Nvidia. Nvidia is getting this free range food here now. We could actually see a much greater run on Nvidia finally. So this is where my optimism remains. I'm going to remain optimistic here. And going back to this chart here. So again, you see this trend line on the 5 minute, and then we jump into the 1 day. Uh this is this trend line here. And again, you see where it had rejected in a couple spots here on the daily. But again, it found that support riding its way up. Now, if we're reviewing this box here that I put, this box would be a clear indicator I'm expecting the SPY to actually stay in and then continue the move up, because I do believe we should get some type of enlightenment to where it is okay for the market, again, the market getting that green light to ignore Moody's and then continue to move up. There's this one thing that does concern me right here on the spot, which is this shooting star. So pretty much it is known that uh individual stocks will retrace with this shooting star here. Now, indexes work a little bit different. Indexes could completely ignore this for months, weeks, months before actually retracing back below this shooting star. But again, looking at these levels, 565, where the shooting star is, with Moody's releasing that inverse cup and handle could very well play out, and it would hit again. It would come down to test this 570 level, and again below this 570, we would see below 564, and possibly continue to sell off back down to this 520 level, depending on how bad things get. T-Man is supposed to be having conversations Monday. A lot of things to expect. Again, I'm pretty sure jobless claims this week. again, a lot of things to expect this week. The market has a lot of things on its shoulders. What I'm planning on doing going into the monthly here, again, these are the same lines, same indicators, still on a monthly. I'm going to look at this 595, 594 level as the top. It would be very safe to get puts here for me personally to buy puts here at the money and literally hold that because again, if we're going over the past the previous month's candles, every candle prints a high for that month. So far, that 594 level has been a high for the month. So I would feel safe to again start a put position no matter where the markets open up at come Monday. And I would feel safe to actually hold that put position, see what happens at that 578 again, and won't release or relieve myself of that put position until we see a new high on a monthly. Again, I would not want to miss the drawdown towards the 570, but again, if the optimism proves right, we would see 510 or I said 510, 610 and 635 as well as 535 on the Qs. And again, this could be ahead of Nvidia's great earnings that we're all expecting. And it could actually follow up post Nvidia's earnings. And I do believe that is when we'll possibly see the sell off because it is historical that Nvidia sells off post earnings since post split. Now, again, I will still remain optimistic, all in the same breath. Schrodinger's cat, due to the fact that Nvidia market cap is above Apple, and this is something that the market could use, which is again a new king overall in the market movement. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I'm out.